Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Slow Your Roll. I'm Cody.
And I'm Alex.
And we are doing another Gauntlet today. Alex has made a excellent and interesting character for us, and we're switching the map up too. So a couple things changing if you're familiar with the Gauntlet format, but we'll get right into this thing. Alex, what do you have for a character for the screen today?
So today I'm going to be taking on a ranger, but it's kind of an unorthodox ranger. It's a Beastborn goose.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
His name is Bill. He's short-legged. Ask me my full name.
Oh, okay. What's the full name for Bill?
Billy Goose.
All right. So one of the best things about this is that I just watched like Markiplier's entire playthrough of the Goose game.
This was also kind of my inspiration too.
All right, cool. All right, well, if you're ready, we can just get right into this thing.
Absolutely. And like you said, I made a flyer and I have full flight. It's not just gliding around, so be ready.
All right, that will be very interesting. I did know that ahead of time, so I crafted a map somewhat, relevant to that, so it'll be fun. Speaking of which, I'll just move you over to that right now.
Ooh.
Okay.
Bunch of water too.
Yeah, so this is the map we're looking at. Your token, hopefully visibly, is there at the bottom.
Yes.
And hopefully you have control of it already.
Yep.
All right.
And we're even using a hex map.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured this one's laid out weirdly enough that it might be better to do the hex grid instead of the squares. So that's the plan. We'll see how that goes.
All right, excited to see. But how exactly is today's gauntlet going to work out? I'm super curious.
Oh boy. Well, we'll see. I cooked up a bunch of weird monsters, some of them kind of the same gimmicks. You'll see a few of them kind of like repeating as we go, but It does get exponentially more difficult. And of course, wave 5 is actually this time, depending on how things go, there's a better chance to get through wave 5 if you make it there than normal, but it's going to be one of those things where if you miss that chance, it's pretty much just going to be like stupidly impossible like normal. So we'll just see how it happens, I guess. So yeah. Okay. Anyway, not sure the lore yet, but one way or another, we went from our fighting pit, mystically transported to this place.
Well, this is the West Coast Gauntlet, obviously.
Yes, you're right. Yes, this is the Gauntlet over in Californiatonville, and we'll just get into this thing. So I'm going to bring our first set of challengers to meet you.
All right, let's see what they got.
Okay, and classically, we'll say that they, a few of the trees on the other side of the island situation you're on there, a few of the trees begin to animate, and you see them bulk up into like a humanoid form, and then quickly just kind of like step out into the light of day there, and they're just like staring you down on the other side of the bridge, and you feel the same, general intent of malice from all creatures, similar like you would to the Gauntlet. So, you know what's going to happen here. You know what's going on.
Definitely.
And basically, these guys are just like big hulking tree dudes that kind of like start slowly charging at you. So, first off, I kind of just randomly put you down somewhere. So if you want to, adjust where you are at all, feel free.
You know what? I feel like that'll probably be totally fine.
Okay.
I'll just stay on opposite sides. Don't want to get too close anyway.
All right, that makes sense. All right, cool. Now, feel free to make either a straight initiative check or describe something you might be doing to alter that initiative check one way or another.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, would you consider an initiative check an awareness check? Or are those not the same thing?
They aren't the same. Initiative is the same as an attack or spell check. It's basically just a combat mastery check, so it's like prime plus combat mastery.
Okay. Then
by default, anyway.
I just have advantage on awareness checks if I'm in the water. I'm not in the water yet, but maybe use that soon.
Okay.
But for the most part, I would try to like get ready for an attack, but the first thing I would do was, start flying.
Yeah, makes sense to me. So if you'd like to make just like an agility check or initiative in general, either will work.
I mean, my agility is... Yeah, I got a +3 for agility. Might as well go for it.
All right, cool. Sounds good.
For 14.
Okay, nice. You do clear the DC of 10. So you are able to act first. Again, as you see these creatures kind of just like creep out into the dirt there. They seem to be just be charging at you more or less. So what do you do first?
So first things first, I'm going to use 1 AP to just get straight up into the air. And I have a movement speed of 5. I wanted to ask you, though, if I'm moving straight up in the air to get some altitude, is my movement limited? Because when I have limited flight going straight up, it's 2 movement up for... It's 2 spaces equals 1 movement by going up when you have limited flight. But I have full flight, and I was wondering if that changes at all.
Yeah, full flight is... As far as I know, full flight is just like the same as your standard movement in any direction ever, unless there was like specific conditions that would impede that, like there is with regular movement. So
okay, awesome.
So you should be good.
5 spaces straight up into the air. And then I'm going to look over at these guys right here, and I'm going to try to figure out a distance between us.
Very good.
Ooh, it's 15 right now. So I'm going to use another action point to move at least 5 more spaces in the direction of the bridge. Got 1, 2, 3, 5 right over here. Moving on to hex is different. I'll have to figure this one out.
I know, right? I hear you. I'll be in the same boat the whole time, I imagine.
All right, now they are exactly 10 hexes away, and I'm gonna say hexes is probably the same as spaces, right?
Yeah, of course.
Nice. And I just so happen to have a feather projectile called a feather dart, and it's also venomous.
Okay. I thought for sure you were going to say something about a feather duster.
Oh man, I definitely need to get better puns for this guy.
So anyway, you've got this excellent feather dart natural weapon.
Yes, I'm going to use the feather dart, sending it straight for the very first guy who's just barely within my range, and I'm also going to empower that to do a sweeping attack.
Yes, gotcha.
And the sweep, choose 1 additional target within 1 space of the original target that's within your attack range. Oh, okay. Wait a minute, I actually can't do a sweep.
I got you. He's a little too far out of range.
Not, yeah.
Okay.
I was hoping that 1 additional would give me the just room to hit him.
Yeah.
But instead, I can...
Sorry, I didn't mean to completely interrupt you like that. Just going to ask you, do you see the bars above their names or their tokens?
Nope.
Okay, good. Sorry to interrupt. Please carry on.
No, absolutely. You're totally fine. I'm just going to empower it with damage then.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to send this one his way with an attack. Wait a minute. I'm a ranger. I need to do Hunter's Mark. I totally forgot.
In this one instance, I will let you redo your turn a little bit if you'd like to.
I haven't actually rolled anything yet.
Okay, perfect.
But it's 1 SP to do the Hunter's Mark. And when it... Okay, so what a Hunter's Mark does is you get advantage on the very first attack that's marked. And also, if you score a heavy or critical hit, you also grant a D8 help die to the next attack made before your next turn.
Yes.
Okay. And that's pretty cool. Might have to add Ranger onto the list of helpful classes as well.
Right, I know. Hunter's Mark does make it a little bit easier for others.
Okay, so just to recap. 1 space movement straight in the air. 1 space movement towards these guys. We've got yet another AP for the Hunter's Mark. And after that, it's just 1 feather headed his way.
Perfect. With advantage.
And yes, that feather should absolutely be at advantage, not disadvantage.
Right, not disadvantage. Oh my gosh.
There we go.
Oh boy.
First attack roll, and it actually worked out for me.
Yeah, all right. That's big. So, what's your total there? 24?
Yes, 24 to hit.
Okay, it is a heavy hit.
Heavy?
Mm-hmm.
Just a heavy?
Just a heavy.
Okay. I did score a heavy hit on it, though, so I get 1d8 help die on the next attack made against it before my turn ends. But my turn is ending right now, so that d8 goes away.
Right.
Okay, just making sure.
But what's the base damage of the whole feather weapon?
So, for that weapon right here, it's a piercing weapon. It has a base damage of 1, and it's a venomous natural weapon. When you hit a creature with your natural weapon, they make a physical save against your save DC. And if they fail, they become impaired until the start of your next turn.
Oh, very good. Okay, so they're taking 2 damage regardless, and then they have to make a physical save. against your save DC. They got a 13.
Nice.
Against...
And the save DC for me is 14, right?
Yes, should be. Yep.
Yes.
Nice. So that one is also impaired.
Perfect. And then I'll end my turn.
Nice.
25 feet in the air.
Wow, incredible. I gotta make a quick look up at impaired. Okay, disadvantage on physical checks. Okay, I was looking to see if attack checks are physical checks technically, and it doesn't say, it's not codified that way in the rules at least, but things like grapple and stuff definitely would be physical checks.
Okay, nice.
Okay, all right, so that one is impaired, and that is the end of your turn as you're soaring in the air over the bridge?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's see. So the one that is impaired is going to quickly try to move to reach you, but it has to spend an action point to get... has to spend 2 action points to get right in front of you, and it will use its last to attempt to actually... Oh, wait, just kidding. You're like flying in the air. It cannot hit you.
No?
So it's going to aggravatedly get under you as you're flying, and basically just kind of like ready... Yeah, that's what it's going to do. It's going to ready its last action point for an attack if you become, within its range for attacking. So that's what it's doing. It just looks like it's like ready to hit you, Just runs up under you and it's just like,
That's awesome.
And this one's going to kind of stupidly really just do the exact same thing or close. Yeah, going to do that right there and using its last action point to try to hit you if you become hittable. So that's it for their turn.
Right. So for that one, I'm going to take one movement action and move about right here. I'd say 5 spaces in this direction over the water.
Perfect.
I'm also going to fill in my hit points. I haven't done that just yet.
Okay.
It's, the temporary hit point is 5, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So I've actually got 16 hit points to start.
Ooh, that's really good.
Thank you. And my physical defense is 14. Don't ask me about my mental defense.
Hopefully it doesn't come up.
Right. But that was 1 AP moving in that direction, and I'm going to take another feather shot directly at the one that I've already Hunter's marked.
Okay, go for it with advantage.
Nice. And I'm also going to apply the sweeping attack and bleeding.
Oh, there you go. Stacking them. I like it.
Yeah. It's technically called rend, I think. Oh, no. It's the bleed maneuver. I'm sorry.
Yep. Okay, cool.
Yep. All right. So when making a martial attack, you can spend 1 AP to perform a save maneuver. With the attack, the target then makes a physical save against your save DC. And
very good.
Okay. So how this attack is going to work. 1 feather is coming right out. It's going to hit the first one. With the sweep attack maneuver, hopefully it'll hit the second one because you only roll once for both attacks.
Right.
And when the bleed maneuver is applied, I'm going to assume I can only do that to 1, so I'm just going to do it to the first one.
I see what you're saying. Yes. Yeah, it'd be like the initial target would take it.
Yes. Can you do multiple maneuvers at once?
Yes, as long as it's not the same one. And even that has exceptions. But generally, yes.
Nice. So that's what's going to happen. 3 AP to send this feather out.
Perfect.
And it is at advantage, so let's see if we can do something with that. 13 plus 4, 17.
17 does hit the first one with a normal hit.
Nice. Does it hit the second one?
I keep forgetting how sweep works. Does sweep just work? Like you pick the second target and it does its thing against their physical defense.
One additional target within 1 space of the original target that's within your attack range, and make 1 attack check against all targets.
Okay, then yeah, absolutely. Yep, so it hits them both with normal hits.
Nice.
Now, okay, the first one has to make a physical save. So it's 1 damage, right?
Yes, 1 damage.
Okay, 1 damage to both of them. And the first one has to make a save, physical save, 11. Fails.
Right. It's not at disadvantage because it was impaired, is it?
It's not. On the impaired condition specifically, it actually mentions that if they're heavily impaired, then it also adds disadvantage to their saves.
Okay, nice.
But that one is bleeding.
Yes, and he'll take 1 true damage every time he starts his turn.
Yes. All right, nice. Okay, and we'll see how this goes. If these guys can't think of anything to do, it's kind of just going to be a slog of you like just chopping away at them slowly.
I get
so we'll give them a couple rounds to see how they do. But if it gets to that point, we might just call it in a fun little cinematic skill check way or something. But for now, let's just see how it goes.
Definitely.
But anyway, you did manage to do damage to both of them with the sweep maneuver, and now the one is bleeding as well. Was that all your action points?
Yes.
Okay. Back to them. So this one is going to take 1 damage by default for the bleed. All right. Specifically, I don't know why, but I decided that this is the one that you hit with bleed, for the record.
Yep,
so,
the one I was stacking on.
Cool. All right, so, yeah. So let's see. He's strong. There's a lot of rocks around. Yeah, let's see. So he's gonna try to move over here. Actually, I guess we'll move this one first. So this one's gonna spend an action point to move once, and then again over in this area where he can actually pick up a loose stone and try to just huck it at you. I'm gonna give him disadvantage on that though, as it's not something he's necessarily coordinated with. So he's just gonna pick up one of the decent sized rocks that are there and just huck it in the air towards you at disadvantage. Oh, all right. So because of the disadvantage, it was a natural 20, but bumped down to an 11.
Oh man, all right, saved.
Nice.
And if it was against my physical defense, then it definitely did not hit.
All right, cool. So same deal there. This one is going to kind of see what's going on. It's like, yeah, all right, I can try that. But let's see here. We'll put him over here, and he'll try to do the same thing. I'm gonna make it a disadvantage again, though. He's gonna just pick up a rock there. He's bleeding as well. It doesn't make a difference. Ooh, natural 1. Yep. Okay, so natural 1. So now that one is also exposed to the next attack, as well as marked with Hunter's Mark. He's got all kinds of bad things going on here. So
he's impaired, bleeding, Hunter's Mark, exposed.
Yeah, that's all they can do this round.
Oh no. See, this is why you don't let things, compound in life. They just keep stacking up.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Got issues, take care of them early, or you'll end up like these tree guardians.
All right, back to my turn?
Yep.
Nice. I'll also let you know that I have disadvantage on agility checks, and getting up from prone costs me 4 spaces.
Oh, okay.
But I am immune to being slowed 2 or higher. All right, I'm kind of looking over my stuff here, seeing if there's anything like super interesting that I can do. But it really feels like my guy's kind of just a one-trick pony, and we're just gonna have another feather coming this way.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely working anyway, so.
It's at a double advantage, right?
Yeah, he's exposed against the first attack, and you've got him Hunter's marked. So yeah, 100%.
Okay, nice. Okay, so it's going to be 1 AP for an attack, 1 AP to empower it, another AP for the hinder maneuver. So that way he'll have disadvantage on attacks. So this guy's just completely blind out here. And then just in case there happens to be anything else, I'm going to take the dodge maneuver to end my turn. Just to, give disadvantage on the attacks coming my way.
Absolutely.
So 1 feather coming his way with extra damage. It was triple advantage, or double advantage.
Right.
So 15 for a 19 to hit.
19 is still just a normal hit.
Okay. And the hinder maneuver.
Yes.
Make a save for my save DC, and if they fail, they become hindered.
All right. Physical save coming. 10 total. That is a fail.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I like to hear. He's also hindered, and we've got 2 damage for him.
Nice. Okay. Takes the 2 damage. He is looking quite rough at this point, by the way.
Nice. Did he take his true damage for bleeding?
At the beginning of his turn, yes.
Okay, nice. And then it should be right back to the trees.
Okay, so it is their turn. Okay. So right now, he will take that 1 true damage. And we are going to say that that is actually enough that this tree is felled and toppled completely. That one is out. He's all sorts of... He fell with many conditions. So now you're just looking at the last one, which is still kind of scot-free where he is. He's got rocks around him still. So I'm going to say that he's going to dislodge one of those babies and just huck it at you yet again. By default, I would give it disadvantage. I'm going to have him empower it with advantage and once for damage as well.
Sounds good.
But
I also took the dodge action.
yes. Okay. So it's back to Disadvantage. Here we go. Oh, okay. I imagine that 5's missing you.
Not well. Yes.
So basically, yet again, you quickly just swoop through the air as this large rock is just hucked right by you. That's really all you can do.
Nice. And I would like to take the time to 1 SP, 1 action point, Hunter's Mark onto the next guy.
Yep.
I don't get a chance to automatically transfer when my quarry dies, do I?
No, but you do automatically get a stamina back when your marked target dies, so that you can reapply it in that sense. So,
okay, cool.
Yep.
So 1 AP, Hunter's Mark onto my newest target. I'm also going to have 1 feather coming his way, and we're going to stack this up with both the bleed and hinder maneuver.
Excellent.
So we've got advantage on this attack because of Hunter's Mark. 16, 20, dirty 20.
Excellent. The dirty 20 does hit with a heavy hit, actually.
Nice. And I also, I would have gotten a help die, but that didn't matter.
Oh, right. And then he's got to make a save against those maneuvers. Only a 12. He fails that as well. So that is 2 damage, correct?
That's going to be, yes, 2 damage for the heavy hit. And then the bleed maneuver and hindered maneuver are both applied.
Okay, that's hilarious. It's good. It's good. Bleed. We'll say that's hindered. That looks like hindered to me.
Yeah, it does.
That symbol looks pretty hindered. Okay.
He doesn't look like he's moving.
All right. Was that all your resources?
Yes, that was everything.
All right. Aggravatedly, this guy's going to take damage, first off, right away from the bleed. He's not even going to try to stop it. He's just kind of mad. He's just going to keep picking up rocks and trying to huck them at you. His disadvantage for being hindered.
Yep.
So let's see. He's going to spend 2 action points just to make it a straight roll. And then the 3rd action point to actually make the attack.
Definitely.
Fails miserably.
No.
And that's it. I mean, it really is just a solid back and forth here.
Okay.
In fact, since it is going to be really just a solid, like you just keep constantly chipping away at this guy, let's just make it fun. And we'll just make contested attack checks real quick. I'm going to make mine second, though, so that it's more of a mystery. So you go ahead and just like do an attack check to kind of represent this whole back and forth of you chopping away at him.
Okay, absolutely.
And I'll do the same.
Just straight attack rolls?
Yep, straight attack check. Oh, gosh. All right, well, he manages to keep fighting through this thing. So we'll just take it back to your turn and watch you keep chipping away at him for now.
Well, if I'm taking a full turn, or am I just doing the attack check?
You can do a full turn. That was kind of just like a meta to see who wins in a heartbeat kind of thing, but apparently he defends himself one way or another. So let's see if he does anything else to you during this whole situation. But your turn.
He's sturdy as a tree.
Yeah, right?
This guy's roots in, you know?
That's right. That's right.
So the first thing that I would do is the expose maneuver with another shot. And I did forget that we should make an impair check for the venomous feather.
That's right. I'll have him do that now. That's a physical check too, right? Physical save?
Yep. Okay. Of my save DC, I think.
Okay, he actually fails that too.
Nice.
So he's all sorts of ganked.
Yes, he's impaired, and the last thing that I can impose on him is exposed, which I'm going to do now.
Why not? You've got advantage on it due to Hunter's Mark.
Yes. And so it's going to be 1 AP for the attack, 1 AP for the exposure, and then I'm going to double up on the power attack. So hopefully it'll be a base damage of 3 and expose them.
All right, let's see it.
I didn't hit. 14.
14 is unfortunately not enough, aggravatedly.
Man.
It does kind of represent the attack roll back and forth. He manages to survive a bit longer than that sense.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll chip away at you some more, but yeah.
If I missed, does he still take the maneuver save?
Yes, actually, yes. That's right, he does. And that time he actually passes with a 19.
Okay.
But
right back to you.
the guy is still bleeding. He's taking damage constantly. He is hindered. He's got to do the same bit where he's spending 2 action points just to give himself a straight roll, and then the 3rd to actually attack. Hucking rocks at you. 17 physical.
So the hindered maneuver only lasts for 1 attack. The target becomes hindered, disadvantage on attacks on their next attack before the end of your next turn.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just the 1 for hindered.
Okay, just to keep it smooth, I'll say that he still does all that, so that attack actually will have advantage, even though the first one's 17.
Okay. It does hit, but just barely.
Okay, so it's just a 17 there. And this guy's throwing big old rocks at you. I'll say it's probably 2 damage by default.
Okay.
But that's still everything he can do on his turn. He took the damage for bleed. The dude's looking pretty rough, so this could very well be it right here.
Sure would like it to be.
Right. It's definitely at that point here.
All right, so I leverage 1 feather out this guy's way, and hopefully it's going to attack. We've got advantage from my hunter's mark, and we're going to give him the hindered and exposed maneuver with a little bit of damage right on top.
All right, let's do it.
Hopefully this bleed is chipping him away if I, for some reason, cannot hit. I don't think I can hit very well right now. 10 to hit.
Yep, unfortunately, the dude's bark-like skin is just enough to shrug that off. But you had some maneuvers on it, right? So
yes, hinder and exposed.
Attempt to save from that. Only a 13, so he does fail and collects both. So many symbols. Hindered, exposed, bleeding. I think it's just that one I want to get rid of now. Okay, yeah, yikes. All right.
And technically they need to make a impaired check for venom as well.
Oh, that's right.
Would that go with the last, like you rolled the 13, would that go with that one too?
Yes, it would.
Okay, then he's also impaired.
Yeah, fails everything. There we go. All right, yikes. This guy's got some even more conditions than his friend.
His friend's no longer here.
Right.
He has the death condition.
That's the big ugly red X there. Was that it for your turn?
Yes.
Okay, he takes the 1 damage from bleed. This guy is as close as he can be without actually falling over. You notice that he's just like shedding bark everywhere. He's like actually deteriorating. It's a mess. The dude's turning into mulch. He is going to do his last just hopeful swing at you with throwing some more rocks here and there. It'd be double disadvantage, I believe.
Yes, because he is hindered this time.
Okay, so he's going to spend the 2 action points to fix that, and the last one to attack with a straight roll. A 16.
Ooh, okay, does hit.
All right, it'd be another 2 damage, and at that, this guy is not going to try to fix his bleed. So, I'm not sure how much that damage they managed to collect against you, but by the time this thing rolls around, he's going to literally bleed to death. So, what would it look like in your last turn, guaranteed successful?
See, Billy Goose, he's the traditional cool guy, right? So he sees it's about to end, and he just basically turns his back, like arms to the side, and he waits for the thud.
Yeah, you just hear like a loud, strange grunt noise, and then just like a thud. And this one is down for the count as well.
Yes.
And we're through the first wave.
And that was 4 damage to my person.
Not so bad. All right. Feel free to reset yourself if you'd like to, anywhere on the map.
I'm going to perch on this stone right over here.
Cool. I like that. Okay, here we go. Moving the next wave onto the map. This one's going to be interesting. So right away, you see there's going to be like technically a free action, but really just to set up the turn for it to make sense at all. So you see walk out from this strange door over here. It's just a mystical spawn point. There is
one of those sentient dungeons.
Yeah, right, exactly. Basically. There is a spellcaster of sorts, you can tell. Some spellcaster lady walks out. Basically just plants herself right there. Makes eye contact with you, and quickly, like I said, as kind of a free action, really just to set up the encounter here. She is going to... You see her kind of just like reach her hands out, and there's just like puffs of like weird magical rips in the air that seem to be like portals, and she seems to be summoning something as the summoner that she is.
Okay.
So you'll see 3 kind of spectrally looking, like they're not fully physically there, maybe. Just like crazy looking dragon-like creatures.
Dang, okay.
Yeah, and they are also just kind of like flying around in the air around her. So that's what you're seeing. Are you doing anything specific with that, or are you just gonna get right into this and see if you can act first, kind of thing?
I'll probably get right into it.
All right. Make it simple. Hit me with an initiative check.
Okay. This one would kind of be like my attack check, I would say.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Like I'm going to be a little bit more offensive because I know I need to land that hit first.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good.
No, technically, the very first action would be a Hunter's Mark or Ascend.
Sure.
But I didn't do very well. 5.
Ooh.
Well, 9 technically, but
okay.
Not very well.
Yep. The DC was 12. So unfortunately, this person does get to act first. And I say this person specifically. You will notice somewhat quickly this summoner caster has all of these creatures move. Oops, move the map on my screen a little bit.
I need to move the map so everything fits.
Right.
There we go.
Sorry, it's supposed to be 6 spaces. So basically this caster just sends all of these dragons straight ahead 6 spaces. And then the front one will actually make an attack towards you.
Ooh, okay.
And yes, okay. Front one makes an attack towards you. With only a 7. Basically, it just kind of like wells up this weird, like spectrally looking breath, and then just like blows it towards you in this mix of like radiant, necrotic looking energy as it's flying through the air. As it is going to be like a mystical damage of sorts, so it would be 7 against your mental defense or mystical defense. Excuse me.
Oh, you hit.
All right. It is a mere 1 damage.
Okay.
So it does hit you, but not too hard. And that is the turn for these guys.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Nice.
So they're all kind of like floating a little bit in the air too right now. I'd say roughly like 10 spaces or something.
Okay, so how far down would you say this little rock is compared to the platform that the sorcerer lady is on?
Probably not terribly far. Mainly just for simplicity's sake. I'd say we can, unless you don't want it to be, I would say it's even like, it's just a very tall jutting rock, and it's actually the same height as the islands, unless you were hoping for otherwise.
Nope, I was just trying to get to this lady.
Okay, yep, so you're like pretty much eye level with her still.
Oh, okay, nice. So I kind of see who's like responsible for all of this madness.
Yes, and you do see that as the dragons move, they seem to like move very specifically like from the master's hands kind of thing, like she's the puppet master.
Okay. All right. So I want to do something kind of cool.
Okay.
Billy Goose is going to fly directly between all 3 of these dragon-like things and go straight to the caster.
Okay. So I'm just laughing at Billy Goose. I can't say it so normally. It's great.
Well, he is a man of mystery.
Yeah.
And so flying literally directly between these ones in this line right here. Can you see that?
Yes.
Flying in that line directly between them. Now,
Yes.
the cool thing about that is I have the flyby ability. You don't provoke opportunity attacks when you fly out of an enemy's reach.
That is really, really cool. All right, cool. Very nice.
I'm going to say I'm probably like just hovering above ground at this point. I don't think I'm like, up high or anything. I didn't use my 2 AP 10 spaces in that direction. I just used it to go in that direction. I didn't go up at all.
Okay.
So I'm just like, above the ground, just flying a little bit.
Yeah, I hear you.
But, however, I do still need to use my Hunter's Mark and mark my quarry, which she's directly in front of me. So that's
True.
1 AP and 1 SP. And lastly, I'm going to send 1 feather right over her way. And it's going to be like, I'm a space away, but it's just going to be like, how I even shoot my feathers, by the way, is I have 2 like normal human hands, but my feathers come out of my wings. So it's like, when I'm doing like a big wave to like go up, you just see a feather come out.
Oh yeah, classic. It reminds me of I don't remember why, but the first Spider-Man game on the PS2, when you fight Vulture, like every time Vulture just like sends, literally just like that, it reminds me of that so much.
Yes, absolutely.
This spellcaster, ironically, seems to be a bit of a hybrid and is actually going to take the sidestep maneuver to give the attack disadvantage.
Okay, so it had advantage because of Hunter's Mark. So
now
straight
it's
roll.
straight. Yep.
Man, not rolling well.
Yeah.
We got a 8.
The 8 unfortunately does miss. Not by a whole lot, but it does miss.
Okay, and then that's her turn.
So she's basically, and the sidestep she does get to move. I forgot 1 space. But basically, yeah, you just kind of quickly take a step back right about the point that the feather's about to slam into her. She's just like, nope. But she's down an action point from that. So the dragons that are around you are within, they're not technically within one space of you. Okay. So you see one, they're all flying. They're all flying. Basically, they're just gonna, the spellcaster is gonna use the last of her resources to just command them to just barrage you. And they do exactly that. Just like all 3 attacks all at once. And that's that. So here we go. Starting from the back, moving around. Got a 13, got a 16.
Heavy.
And an 8.
All right. So for that, we've got heavy hit.
Okay. You are going to take a total of 5 damage in the one barrage blow.
Absolutely. Taking me down to 11 health.
And that ends the resource pool for the caster, bringing you back to the top.
Nice. Now, this woman's a thorn in my side, and she needs to know what it's like to be impaired.
Yes, of course.
So I'm actually going to empower my attack for advantage.
Okay.
Seems like normal advantage isn't enough for me right now, and I need to accommodate that.
She's gonna try the sidestep maneuver again on the first one, negating one of them.
So we've got advantage, 1 AP. 1 AP for the attack, and then I'm also going to have the bleed and hindered maneuver as well.
Okay, very cool.
And we've got a 13, 17 to hit.
17 does do it with a heavy hit, actually.
Even better. So that's 2 damage coming her way, and she's got to make a physical save against being both impaired, hindered, and bleeding.
All right.
A lot riding on
See
this
how
roll.
she does. She nails it with a natural 20. But the damage lands, and as the damage lands, you see that her whole situation with the sidestep thing is really her biggest boon to her defense. She doesn't have a lot riding on that otherwise, but that's everything you could do, right?
Yep, that was everything for me.
Okay,
Coming
you did
right
get
back.
your stamina back for the heavy hit, though,
Oh, nice.
for the record, on your mark. So that's good.
And you're able to use the stamina to do one more maneuver, right?
Yes.
Nice.
Okay, so she burned the AP for sidestep. That time it didn't help her out too much. So let's, she's gonna pretty much have the same thing going on. She is a little worried. She knows that she can't really run from you because you've got the advantage of the air too, so she's not gonna try to move too much. She's pretty much just gonna keep the threat up of as much damage as possible fast. So she's going to have the dragons with a bit of a different approach this time. She's going to spend 1 resource to give 1 help instead of have it attack. So it'd be attacked by 2 of them, 1 of them with help.
Sounds good to me.
We'll do the help one last. Natural 1 on the first one, and only a 9 plus 1d8. Okay, so the second attack does land with a 10, I imagine.
Yep.
But the first one is actually now exposed. Exposed. Which one would be exposed? I don't know. Ooh, broken shield. That's kind of like exposed. I like that. Okay. And again, 1 is the base damage.
Okay.
And that is all of the caster's action points to command these beasts flying around you.
Down to 10 health.
Okay.
And if that's all the casters got, then I've got something for them. I'm going to be moving just a little bit farther away, right over here. So that way, maybe I can try to mitigate some damage coming my way.
Okay.
We've already got advantage, but I need to put it at double advantage so that way it'll hit this time. And then we're going to just do the bleed maneuver. So let's see what we got. Okay, there we go. Now we're actually getting somewhere. 21.
Yep, that's definitely it. That's a still only a heavy hit.
Okay.
Hardly.
So that's still 2 damage.
Very good.
And we need a save from this sorcerer here. See if they're bleeding and impaired.
Oh my gosh. How? It's both times, both the saves for that specifically. Well, unfortunately she saves again.
Sure did.
But she's taken the damage, and she is nearly bloodied. She's quite close to that as well.
Okay. Nice,
so you are
nice.
chipping away at her very quickly. She's like hardly even trying to find a space to be defensive at this point. Like I said, she knows you can fly. She's like, I can't run. I gotta just blast this guy, kind of thing, you know?
Right.
But the exposed dragon is going to fly up this way a bit more. Let's see, this dragon is going to land near enough. Actually, you know what? No, yeah, that's fine. This dragon is going to land near enough to the caster that it can actually possibly try to defend her with its resources later.
Okay.
And then the one in the back, are you, whereabouts are you? Did you say you're on the ground right now, ish?
I'm basically hovering. I haven't gone up anything.
More or less ground level. Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to say that you've got... Okay, this one is going to try to attack you, but I'm going to give you half cover because of its big dragon friend technically in the way a little bit. So it is going to try to attack you with a -2, so I'm going to do the math ahead of time there. Okay, only an 8 for that one.
Nice. It says a natural 20, though.
Maybe it just didn't go through. My last one was the natural 20. Or did it do natural 20?
Oh, okay. Yep, it's right under. I see.
Okay. I don't remember. Does an 8 do it against your mystical defense?
It does, yes.
Okay. So unfortunately, you do take 1 more damage there, but that's all the resources that the caster has this turn.
Totally fine.
You are noticing...
I need to move my character for a second so I can see my health.
You are noticing the one dragon planted itself like very near the caster and seems to be like actively body shielding her one way or another. Probably opening up maybe some defensive reactions similar to sidestep.
Okay.
But
all right. So
your call.
If it's back to my turn, then I'm going to be using my flyby yet again to move right about over here.
Okay.
I think right here, like on top of this perch, till just pretty much straight through this dragon. And now hopefully I'll have a decent line of sight on the caster.
Yeah. You do. It seems that the dragon is still possibly able to do some stuff, but I'm trying to look up ahead of time what it's going to be. I mean, I know it's going to be, I just don't know what it does offhand.
Is it called like body block or?
It is the shield maneuver. But anyway, that's all it's going to try to do when you know. So you do notice that the dragon is large enough that it can still like kind of get in the way of whatever might be coming at the caster.
Okay.
The raise shield maneuver. That's what I was thinking of. Okay. But anyway, that's all it will be able to do when the time comes. So feel free to continue discussing what you were doing.
Yeah, absolutely. No worries. I just wanted you to find it. So the first things that I was going to do was move into a better spot. So that way maybe I could get a decent shot on her. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take the shot. I'm going to have 1 AP. Well, we've already had 1 movement, 1 AP for an attack, 1 to empower, and 1 for damage.
Nice.
And hopefully I can do something with that because my saves aren't really helping me right now.
Yes, so the caster does command her nearest summon to defend her, more or less, burning the AP or the raise shield maneuver.
Is she also going to sidestep, or did that make it a disadvantage? I just need to know if I should roll a 2 or 3.
She is not going to sidestep right now.
Okay, so then I'll roll the 3, and I desperately needed it. 15.
15 is...
Does 15 hit?
It does hit with a normal hit. So
Okay.
the way raise shield works is you reduce the damage against the target by an amount equal to your shield's PD bonus. So I'm going to use like the natural armor bonus, which is only 1 technically.
Okay,
So it's like it negates 1 damage basically.
nice. So I did empower it for damage, so
Yes.
it's just 1 damage then.
All right.
But they still have to make a save to be impaired because my weapons are naturally venomous.
That's right. Okay, so she takes the damage and immediately bloodied, by the way.
Oh,
and
nice.
the save, dang, another high save with a 17.
Yup.
Yeah, that bonus is added to that thing either.
That's crazy.
She's not very physically adept. Okay.
I'd beg to differ.
Yeah, despite how it seems, I swear. But yeah, there's that.
It is back to your turn whenever you're ready.
Okay, so she's down an AP again by commanding the whole shield situation, but now she's going to resort back to the triple barrage and get it over with. Yeah, so starting from the bottom left, moving around to the right. Oh,
That's a big one.
yeah, that's going to be a big one. We're looking at a 7, a 22, and a 10.
7 hits. 10 hits. 22 brutal +1.
Ouch. Okay. 1, 2. Oh boy, that's gonna be rough. Okay, so there's the 2 normal hits. There's one that is a hit, heavy, brutal +1. Crit, adding 2 more. So the total damage from this solid barrage is 8 necrotic damage.
Jeez, oh Pete's.
That one's rough.
That was a lot.
Necrotic, excuse me. That is umbral. In DC20. Yeah. That was a lot. How are you looking, if you don't mind me asking?
I've got 1 health left.
Dang. All right. Well, you are back up now. So what are you doing?
All right. For this move here, I think I'm just gonna have to empower it as much as I can for damage and hope and pray that I just get it. You know what I mean?
Yep, I support that.
So, without moving, I've got advantage on my first attack. It's going to be 1 AP for the attack, and then 3 AP for empowerment on damage.
All right. She sees that she's chipping away at you real quick and doesn't want to risk it this time. She's not even going to try to defend herself. She's just going to save all of her resources to try to nuke you in the next round. So it could honestly come down to this.
Okay.
I'm scared.
No, you're good. I was expecting a sidestep out of you. But I got a dirty 20.
Okay. A dirty 20 does hit with a heavy.
Okay, nice. Good thing I didn't have a straight roll because that would have been a 4.
So, what's the total damage on this baby?
So the base damage would have been 4, and then we got a heavy. So
all right. She is exactly 5 HP.
There you go.
That is huge. That was like the turning point. That was the turn right there. That decided pretty much everything. That is exactly enough HP to drop the caster. And in doing so, all of her summons immediately disappear as well. Look at that. All right. Wave 2 of the gauntlet is done. Feel free to reset wherever you'd like to be.
I'll be like in the middle of the bridge.
Fun. Cool. All right. This one's going to be interesting. This time around, you see there is like the very stones on like the side of the island over here seemingly begin to animate. And there's just like a massive chunk of the side of the like cliff side of the island right there that you see just like almost like landslide off, but then it like grows limbs and like crawls up on top of the island as it quickly begins to apparate in a very specific humanoid-like form. And this thing is just like a big earth golem, basically.
Okay, nice.
And in the same way that you see the island come alive, you see the water under the bridge seem to come alive a bit. And just like this weird, like strange, almost like tower of water loop around the bridge for a moment and then scatter across. And it's just like this person looking elemental wrapped in like the water itself, almost like becomes an armor. And you see this very strange humanoid water elemental just kind of appear, just like towering up kind of at the same level as you. It's just like a water tornado kind of propelling it up kind of thing.
Dang, okay.
So these are the two, the forces of nature themselves. The island itself is fighting back at this point. So, what are you doing?
Realizing I'm trespassing. But that's gonna be a attack check for my initiative to just send it straight at the rocky guy. It seems like that's gonna be the biggest problem.
Perfect. Let's see it.
19.
Okay, I was gonna say 15 is actually the encounter DC for this one. So, you did it. You get to act first. You do see this guy definitely seems like a hulking type. In his little image, he's got a weapon there, but he doesn't necessarily have weapons. In fact, you notice that like he is able, like he literally just kind of like takes, it's like he's cracking his wrists a little bit kind of thing, you know, like doing like the tough guy kind of thing, but he like dislodges the hand more or less and then like sticks it back on. And you notice him like just kind of like grow more rocks around him here and there too. Almost like he can apparate them to the form he wants to a little bit.
Okay.
And the water guy, you see like some water come up around him to the point that they're literally just like almost hard, not ice, but just like very like hard structure water in like a couple pegs just kind of floating around him. That's what you're seeing.
Okay. From my like, you know, ranger hunteriness, is there any significance to the pegs that I might be able to, like, incline? Is it like, hey, I should have to shoot these pegs because this is where he holds his power or something?
Interesting.
Is there something that I could be able to do as a ranger?
Yeah, sure. Kind of freely. I like that. That's creative investigating on your part. So I will let you make either an awareness, insight, or investigation check to try to figure that out. Whatever you think your character would be doing.
So awareness is actually at +5 for me. So
Ooh.
I'm very aware.
Okay.
We're going to go with that one here, just to see if we can think of something.
Right.
So.
They don't necessarily, I'll just give you this. They don't seem to be any kind of like form of stability for the creature or anything like that. I guess that's the best I'll give you. That's kind of what you were asking. It doesn't seem to be that the creature is like relying on them for anything, if that's, you know what I mean?
Okay.
That's the best I can give you.
That makes sense to me. But in that time, now that I know my enemies, I'm going to be moving off of this bridge here, flying directly up into the air. About 5 feet, 5 spaces up in the air, a whole action. Then I'm going to also fly all the way over here, which is 3 whole spaces, or 3 whole actions worth of movement just to get over there.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Next up, though, I am going to be taking the dodge action.
Ah, all right. Very cool. All right. So the rock golem, maybe ironically, seems a little less patient than the water guy. So he's actually going to act first. And we're going to see how far 14 spaces just within his reach for basically what he's going to do. He's going to kind of just like, he sees you fly over there and he looks pretty like he almost like moves around like a toddler, angry. Like he seems frustrated that you flew away. But
Good.
That being said, he's still going to kind of just like reach out his arm towards you and do like a little Buzz Lightyear thing where he just kind of like holds his arm a little bit and just like aims his arm at you and he just launches his fist like a cannonball off of his arm. But
at a disadvantage.
Yes, let's see. There is that. And it was terrible. With only a 4. And now flustered again, he's going to use an action point to regenerate that arm. And then the only other action point is he's going to try to like move a little bit closer to you just in case down the bridge, as he hardly is able to fit on the bridge itself. That's all he can do.
I would imagine like pebbles falling off the side of the bridge, like as he's moving.
Yes, exactly. You hear like massive cracks and stuff on the bridge, and he seems to just not care at all. But it would be, I guess it would be both of them because you went first. Sorry. Okay. All right. So this water guy, right, just kind of floating up in this little tornado. You see him kind of just like reach back as his arm kind of becomes like this Zeus-like lightning bolt, but just like made of pressurized water, just flowing like crazy. And he's going to spend all of his action points. That is 1 and then 3 more. And basically, he's just going to make an attack at you. The pegs are used to add to his attack. So really just a narrative way to do the whole adding damage maneuver. But he's going to try to attack you and add a bunch of damage with a straight roll, not empowering it with advantage.
Okay.
All right. A mere 9.
Against?
Physical.
Okay, nice. Does not hit.
All right, perfect. So yeah, he launches this bolt, and as it does, the pegs that are around his body just like launch with it, like little darts following it. And that's it for their turn.
Very nice. Just gonna go ahead and see the distance between. That's perfect. You're within the range. So I don't necessarily have to make any movements this time, and I am still up in the air 5 spaces. I'm going to send 1 feather flying down directly at this water guy. But before I do that, I need to start a hunter's mark so that way I can give it advantage.
Absolutely.
And I also want to give the feather the bleed maneuver, and then we're going to see how that goes.
Okay.
So an attack with advantage, 19 actually.
19 is solid. That is a heavy hit against water guy.
Perfect. And a save maneuver, please, for both impaired and bleeding.
Let's do it. Ooh, only 5.
That's what I like to see.
Dude is impaired and bleeding. There we go. Oof, that's rough. What's the base damage?
It was just 1 base damage.
Plus the heavy. So you do land 2 damage worth there. And as you do that, I'll say that you notice the feather just like pierce through this dude's form, right? And the water quickly like displaces around that. And you venture to guess that it actually won't take too much to drop this guy. So you did solid damage there.
That's what I like to hear.
Okay. Was that all your stuff?
I have 1 action point left, which is going to be taking the dodge action.
Okay. All right. Very good. We'll stick with the same order we did last time. This big rocky dude is very flustered. He's going to jump completely off of this bridge. How far? And he is huge. Let's see here. So he's going to spend an action point to move a little bit closer down the bridge this way. Spend an action point to jump, and he can jump crazy far.
Oh no.
Well, compared to the average person, I should say. He's going to jump 4 hexes and basically just like laughably like lands on the towering rock there. And it begins to crumble, and he just like doesn't care. He's like a clumsy dog thinking he can fit on, something that's way too small. And he's going to spend his last action point to jump again and make it over to you.
Dang, okay.
At least the island you're on, if nothing else.
Right.
So he kind of just like last jump, clambers onto that island. And you see him just like clear the side of the cliff, and he's just like eye contact with you. But that's all he can do. So now,
how tall is this dude? I'm serious. I'm curious.
He's
how
big.
tall?
He's big. He's big. He's a good, he's a good like 15 feet tall lad. Very large.
I'm about 10 feet above him still.
Nice. That's awesome. All right. Water guy is
I'm gonna
also.
assume the arms can probably reach me anyway. Because,
maybe. I would say maybe the way it is right now. I guess he can't do it this turn, so I won't feel that dirty. I'm going to say the way it is right now, he could reach you, yes.
Okay.
Water guy sees you still flying above him, and though he's taking the bleed damage first off.
Thank you.
As you see his form just kind of like a bit less stable, and he's going to do the same bit here. He's not moving. He sees you. He's going to attack, and he's going to add a whole bunch of damage to that attack, and that's his whole thing.
So I do have the dodge action because the Earth guy did not attack me.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so it will be at disadvantage. I forgot what I was adding. I think it's only this. Ooh, bad. Ooh, really bad. Okay, it makes himself exposed too, just like that.
Nice. Saves me a maneuver.
It does. Golly. All right. So again, launches the bolt of pressurized water towards you, and several pegs follow behind it, but they all rapidly miss as you dip and dive through the air. That is both of their turns. Back up to you.
So can I still see the blue guy from where I'm at in the air?
I would say so, yes.
Okay, nice. So got my thoughts together.
All right.
What I'm going to do is, since I can still see the blue guy and I have the hunter's mark on him right now, I'm going to go ahead and send a attack going straight to this guy, and it's also going to have the hinder maneuver attached to it. But
all right.
Not only that, I'm going to spend 1 more AP for damage to make it 3 AP, but instead of spending my last action point, I'm going to use the SP. I'm going to use the SP that I just gained from having the heavy hit last time. So that's attack, damage, hinder, damage with SP, and then dodge with my last action.
That's awesome. I love it. Let's see it. You got double advantage.
Oh, double. Okay.
Yeah, because he's exposed.
Nice, even better. So we got 17, 21 to hit, and please make a physical save if you can.
Okay, that is you said 21. That is a heavy hit, just shy of a brutal.
Oh, so close.
First off, how much damage is that?
So that's going to be 2 damage for the heavy, 1 more for the empowerment, and then he's also going to make a save for hindered and impaired. Okay. Just hindered if he's still impaired.
Yes. He's definitely still impaired. He's going to make the save. Ooh. Natural 20 on the save.
He got that one.
But I will say the damage you did made him look very rough at this point. Like the form that he's got, you know, going on here is much more just like a swirling ball and less humanoid. The armor's kind of faded in its appearance and everything else. So you're tearing him up real bad.
And I did 3 damage that round, and I'm also going to take the dodge action to end my turn.
Very good. Okay. So this big guy, excited that you're finally within his reach, technically. You better believe this giant hunk of rock, his first thought is just like, this guy's flying around, making me mad. He's going to try to just reach out and grapple you.
Okay.
And he's real big, so he's going to get advantage on that. But because the dodge, actually, I don't know if dodge helps with grapples now that I'm thinking about it. And instead of looking it up, I'll just be generous and say that you can make your check with advantage.
Okay.
So
nice.
Trying to grapple you with advantage, but you also get advantage. Okay, so you got to be a 13 with a physical physical check. Ooh,
actually did really well.
You did super well.
Like +5 for my martial checks.
Very good.
Both my athletics and acrobatics are +5.
Nice. Okay, very good. So he completely fails the grapple, and as aggravating as it is, he's not going to stop trying. I imagine that's just what he's going to do. He's like, I can't let this guy fly away again.
Okay.
So he's going to do it again. It would be at disadvantage because it's a repeated check, but he's large, making a straight roll. He's going to spend his last action point to give it advantage again. So he's blowing all of his action points just to try to grapple you. Okay, 22 is the goal.
He got me.
Okay, so he does manage to grapple you. No damage is done, but you are currently grappled.
Sounds good.
We'll do this little net thing. All right, so that's the big guy. This other dude is going to try to hit you, but you're all sorts of grappled. And again,
for bleeding as well.
Oh, that's right. Oh man, he is looking really rough. He's actually going to try to make the whole medicine check to stabilize himself from stop bleeding. That's the first thing he's going to do. 13 is not enough.
Is it my save DC, or is it like...
I don't remember.
So if it's a save maneuver, if it sticks to that, then it would be just 14. But if there's another thing like a medicine check that just needs to meet something,
I think I think it's just the medicine check, not necessarily related to the creature's save DC. Let me see.
Okay.
If you stop bleeding, it's your choice. Spend an action point, touch a creature, and tend to its wounds, make a DC 10 medicine check. Okay. And if you succeed, it stops bleeding. Okay, so he does actually manage to do it. Wouldn't have beat your DC, but the DC for the medicine check is only a 10. So in the nick of time, really, he's burning that action point to save himself from bleeding, quote unquote bleeding. Okay, now he's gonna stick to his whole bit, but now because you're grappled, I'm actually gonna give you half cover because this golem's arms are like covering a lot of your body to start with, but the water dude.
So I'm just also realizing something, that I'm a small character.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I don't think we took account for that for the last grapple. He still would have succeeded, but just figured I'd let you know for future reference.
Okay, fair enough. And honestly, he's like, he's bigger than large, actually. I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up after too, or tell us in the comments, probably. But
right.
I mean, feel free. But having every size up might be advantage again. I'm not sure how that works, but we'll just stick with how I did the first time, which is just he's larger than you, so advantage or whatever kind of thing.
Sounds good to me.
But anyway,
to be fair though, there is a certain size discrepancy where it's like I have a lot of difficulty trying to grapple an ant.
No, that's kind of true though. That's a good point. So water guy is going to try to attack, and he's only going to add 2 damage instead of the 3 because he used some to stop the bleeding. So he sends an attack your way with a 16 against physical defense.
Nice. It actually just hits.
Okay, so he's going to manage to land 3 damage on you.
Dang, okay. First damage I've taken though, so I'll take it, I guess.
Right, yeah. Could have been worse so far. And that's all that they can both do. So you are currently grappled, okay. But you've got your whole turn. What do you do?
So this giant, totally fine with what he's doing, to be honest. Just imagine like trying to hold on to a cat and you can't hold on to a cat. Just doing a bunch of like twists in your hand.
Yeah.
That's what's going on right now. I'm just sending out feathers in each and every single direction. I would like to empower my attack, bleed, and hinder the giant.
Okay. All right.
And that'll be all 4 action points.
Okay, sounds good. Do your thing.
19 to hit.
19 does hit with a normal hit.
Nice. And then I need a save from this guy, please.
Yes.
For hindered, impaired, and bleeding.
He does have big additives, but even so, only an 11.
Nice.
So that is, this one's what I've been doing for impaired.
Hindered, bleeding, and impaired.
Okay, starting to get all my symbols like actually meaning something to me, and that's good. Okay,
Nice.
Immediately stacking on 3 conditions on this guy. Very cool. And it was a normal hit. Was it 1 damage?
Yes, it was just 1 damage.
Okay, all right.
Impaired, I closed my conditions. Impaired is just...
Disadvantage on physical checks.
So, grappling?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%. Okay, was that all your stuff?
Yes, that was everything I got.
All right. Well, starting off, he's taking 1 damage from bleed. Boom. Now is when things get possibly dicey. So he's got you grappled.
Yes.
He's going to try to attack you. I can't remember if attacks on a grappled person have disadvantage or have advantage.
I would assume so.
I would too. I'm gonna check it real quick. Funny thing is, enough of these things will come up consistently that, like, we will learn them.
Yep.
This might do it. Like, this might be the time where I'm like, I'll remember this forever now.
I was also figuring that no matter if I can use as many conditions as I possibly can, then that's also going to help us with like, oh, this is what this does.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Help us learn by incident. That's good. Look up conditions instead. Yep. It does not openly say, so not by default. Your speed just becomes 0 and you have disadvantage on agility saves. But that's it.
I already had disadvantage on agility saves.
Joke's on you.
That's right.
All right. So you are grappled. This guy is going to try to just hit you really hard while you're grappled. Mm-hmm. Very similar to, I don't know if you guys watched the combat encounter recently, but there was a big ogre that did the same thing to Shane's character. But yeah, basically you're just grappled up and he's just going to try to punch you on the top of the head.
Could I sidestep while I'm grappled?
Sure, yep, I'll let you.
Nice.
Let you wiggle around just enough to see if you can avoid the hit. And I didn't say anything about advantage with the hit, so I'm not going to do that after you said your thing.
Okay.
So he's got disadvantage. Oh, it's a good thing too. Oh my gosh, it's such a good thing.
I'm gonna
First
start
roll.
counting your natural 20s over here.
Listen, I don't know. I don't know how to mess with the code on roll 20. Okay.
Put your online dice in the oven.
All right. So that natural 20 is completely negated by the natural 1, opening him up and making him exposed on the next attack against him.
Just
now,
such extremes.
yeah, for real. Now he's real mad. So you said he was hindered too, so that was actually double disadvantage.
Oh, nice.
Not that it could have been any worse.
Yeah, seriously.
But now I will get rid of the hindered condition before I forget. Okay, now he's going to do kind of the same situation.
He is exposed, though, you said, right?
Yep, exposed. So the next attack against him is taken, or has advantage.
Nice.
So same deal. Let's see. He's going to, with his other 2 action points, he's going to attack and add advantage so that he doesn't have the stacking disadvantage. So it's just a straight roll.
Okay.
With only an 8 against physical defense.
There we go. Definitely doesn't hit.
All right, nice. Okay, so that's it for his turn. All he can do, you remain grappled, but he can't take advantage of it. And the water guy is impaired. He's gonna do the same bit here.
Did the big guy also take his bleed damage? I'm sorry, there's just so many.
Oh, you're good. I think he did. Oh gosh. I think I remembered to right away.
Okay, yeah.
I'm pretty
also,
sure.
Sorry about so many freaking conditions.
It's okay. As long as we forgive each other for missing them here and there. But I'm pretty sure I did give him damage for bleed at the beginning of that round.
Okay, nice.
The water guy. looking real rough. He is going to do his classic bit. You're still kind of locked up, but he's going to just send a bolt towards you and add a bunch of damage in the process.
Nice. He was also known in a past life as the Water Boy.
Yes. But you are going to get the half cover from being grappled again. Looking at 11 physical damage.
Nope, does not hit.
Nice. Okay. So there's that. That's all he can do. He's not moving. It is back up to you.
Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit the same thing that I was doing last time, except you know how like when a giant has you grappled, you can see like the cracks between their fingers?
Yeah.
This time, one feather is going straight through that crack in the fingers to the blue guy.
Okay, sounds good.
It is at advantage because of Hunter's Mark.
Yes.
So I'm going to be laying that on. And I don't think he has very much left because he seemed pretty messed up last time. So
he was very quick to end the bleed on himself too.
Oh, okay, definitely. So it's just going to be those 2 action points to give it advantage. We got 19 to hit.
It had advantage already, right? Because of Hunter's Mark?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry.
Sure.
So it's
the
just
same
one
thing.
action point.
Yeah, yep. And that is enough, by the way. And regardless of any of the saves that would be necessary, it's enough to actually finish this water guy off. So what's it look like as this water guy drops?
So he wasn't expecting it literally at all. I'm just sitting here basically in the palm of this giant's hand, just like a cat trying to get out of there, you know, just twisting my body and spine in different ways that probably shouldn't be that way. But a stray feather comes directly between the middle of their fingers, shoots at the water guy with precision accuracy, as Billy Goose is known for.
Yeah, perfect.
And since that actually only cost 1 action point, I want to try my best to end this grapple condition. He also has disadvantage from being impaired on physical saves.
Yes, physical checks, which is a grapple, yes.
Yes. So that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I also want to add a resource to it to give myself advantage on this type of check.
All right, sounds good. So let's see who wins. So his will be a straight roll because
Straight roll now?
Just because he was large. He's much bigger than you, kind of thing.
Yes.
But that would be advantage normally. But you, because of the impaired, he's brought down to a regular straight roll.
Okay.
A 14.
And I gave myself advantage on that to give myself a 21.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, for sure. You do manage to wriggle out of this stone giant's grasp. You are no longer grappled.
That's perfect. And I'm going to move right here with my last 5 spaces of movement. And that's all 4.
Due to fly by, he cannot opportunity attack, but he would love to.
Yeah, he looks like the type.
Very cool. He's very upset, very frustrated. But that's that. That's all you can do?
Yes, that's all I can do.
That was pretty good. Drop the water guy, escape the grapple. This guy's doesn't want to try to jump to catch you at this point. He's going to do the old arm cannon situation again. But that is not nearly as efficient at killing as him being up close to you. So,
oh, also bleed damage.
Oh, yes. See, that time I did not remember. Glad you said that. Takes the damage from bleed. Good job. He's going to make his attack at you, just launching his fist off of his arm to try to hit you. Only a 5.
Definitely doesn't hit.
He's going to spend an action point to regenerate that arm and do it again at disadvantage.
Let's see what he's got.
5.
Again.
So just flustered, just launches his fist, takes a second, regrows it, launches it again, misses. He's just like, dang it. That's all I can do.
Nice. And remind me of the conditions that he still has. He's bleeding, impaired, and exposed.
Yeah.
Still? Okay, nice. And exposed is only 1 attack, right?
Yep. First attack.
So first things first, we're going to put Hunter's Mark directly on this guy so that way I have double advantage. Next up, he's going to be hindered. We really need to lay that on pretty much every time, and I keep forgetting. And then one more AP to empower it for damage to make that 3 AP for this attack.
All right.
So that's going to be double advantage, hindered, power. And then I'll have one more for a dodge.
Very cool.
Oof, almost needed it. We got 16.
16 is enough for a normal hit.
Nice. And then please make a save to be hindered. And if he's still impaired, he doesn't need to make a save for that one.
Okay. He, as far as I know, he is still impaired. The hinder. Right. Yep, definitely got to make a save for hindered. 17 against hindered. So he does actually manage to save there.
Okay.
But he takes the damage.
And it was 2 base damage for that one.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. I meant to ask, but I only did 1. Good work.
Thank you.
Okay. Nice. And you are dodging, right?
Yeah. I
Okay.
was going to take the dodge action, but now that I think of it, I would much rather move away. About right here.
Ah, okay, nice. There you go. Good idea. So right before you move, I'll even say like narratively, it might have been one of the reasons that you moved, but it looks like he's going to try to just like pounce at you and just like tackle you out of the air. But you eliminate that possibility. So he's going to do the same bit here. He's going to spend the 1 AP to reload his fist, and he's going to spend another AP. Oh, did you make your thing? Yeah. We did the exposed. I can remove exposed now.
Okay, yeah.
Just want to forget. Okay, sorry. But
And
anyway,
also bleed damage at the beginning of his turn.
see, man, good job. Okay. And by the way, he's starting to crumble apart quite a lot at this point.
Nice.
So anyway, he uses the action point to reload his fist. He's going to take aim at you and be a little bit more careful this time. So he's going to give his attack advantage. Yeah, that's it. That's all he can do. That's all his actions. So 1 fist cannon at advantage, 12.
Does not hit.
Nice. He's just launching his fist in the air very angrily. That's all he can do. He's so frustrated. You see him just kind of like dancing around, just like, ah.
Yeah, this guy sucks with his hands. Can't build nothing.
Yep. The whole fist thing reminds me of one of the androids. I think it's like Android 16 from Dragon
Yes.
Ball. Can just like launch his arm or whatever. Reminds me of that.
That's actually pretty awesome. I don't know why I didn't think of that immediately when, that came up, but
Right.
yes, that is 100% that.
So anyway, back with you up at the top.
So I'm still in reach, just barely, to be able to shoot this guy, and I'm going to be sending 1 attack straight to his way. I'm also going to empower that attack to have advantage yet again, because I just really want to make sure this lands. But
Okay.
at the same time, it's going to be... Is he currently hindered?
He is.
I don't think he was. Because
He's not hindered. No.
Okay.
It's impaired and bleeding.
Hinder and expose him.
Okay.
And that was 1 AP for the attack, 1 AP for advantage, double advantage. It was going to be 1 AP for hinder, 1 AP for expose.
Nice.
Gosh. So we got 12, 16 to hit.
Yeah, you needed all that advantage. It was good. 16 does hit with a normal hit.
Nice. And then please make a save to see if he's both of those things.
Okay. Base damage was 1? Question mark.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Base damage of 1.
Okay, cool. All right. Physical save. High in physicality, 23.
Doing well.
So he saves from that again, but he takes the damage, and he's looking more and more like he's just about to fall apart.
Good.
And that was it for your turn. Okay. Starting with the 1 damage from bleed. He's yet to fix that. He's frustrated that he's not hitting you. This time, he's just going to try to fix himself. He's going to try to collect himself a little bit here and not be falling apart as much from the bleed condition. So,
Narratively, I kind of see him just picking up a bunch of dirt and then throwing it on it.
yeah, 100%. Bandaging himself up, basically. He'll just do a straight roll for that. Does not succeed. Now frustrated, he's going to reload his arm and shoot at you once with a straight roll.
The good old Henry Cavill arm cock.
Yes, a 9.
Doesn't hit.
Nice. That's all he can do.
Nice.
Very frustrated, this one.
I know how he feels. All right, so we're going to go ahead and send another feather his way, but we're going to empower it with damage just about as much as we possibly can. We've already got advantage, and that's all we need.
Yep, let's do it.
1 for the attack, 1 for damage, 2 for damage, 3 for damage. Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
16 to hit.
16 does it with a normal hit and a whole bunch of damage. That is definitely enough to finish up this creature. It crumbles apart, absolutely. And you notice that in doing so, like all of the pieces that made this thing up kind of just like drift back to the cliff where they came from and become part of the island again.
Oh man.
But those are no longer a threat.
For wave 4, it's add 8 health?
Yes.
Okay, so if it's add 8 health, then I'm at 19 base. Because
Nice.
I have 11 health to start.
Right, very good. All right. So the whole situation of that, like a piece of the island became like a little stone golem guy and was like, I'm gonna beat you up, right? You hear just like and feel. It's just like, well, I guess if you're flying, you wouldn't feel it, but there's just like the earth is just quaking. Okay. The island that is on the far right down here literally just like erupts from the ground. All right. This entire island is now water because the island stands up and becomes a creature.
Oh no.
And it's very similar to the one you just fought, but really big. So just obnoxious. I'm going to try to, let me see if I can just do this the way I want to here. How do you do? How do you do? How do you do?
How do you do?
Do you? How do? Well, that? Yep. All right. So that's all water now.
Nice.
Okay. There's that. And instead, what the water was, there is now that Golem's bigger brother just stands up out of the water like an impenetrable fortress.
It does look like an impenetrable fortress.
This thing is just like absolutely massive. Like I said, this thing just like stands up, looks around, looks at you, and just lets out this insanely large groan. That's basically it. That's what you're seeing. One large creature.
How tall is this thing?
This thing is absolutely massive. It stood up and became 3 times the height of the island that was there. This thing is roughly, let me do some math here. This thing's roughly 30 feet tall.
Okay. Nice.
And kind of like 30 feet wide almost too. Like the thing is just huge. Okay, what do you do?
Well, nothing's ever scared Billy Goose before, so he's ready for attack.
Fair enough. Let's get it with a straight attack check for your initiative roll. Nice.
Oh, dang. Okay, 23.
Nice. The encounter DC was 18. So you are able to act first as you see this massive island become a creature, more or less, with the island that was there now like on its back. Yeah, it just looks like this crazy dwarven-like machine of rock.
Okay, so first things first, Hunter's Mark. And then I'm not 100% sure what elevation I'm currently at in comparison to the monster.
Mm-hmm.
But if we were going to say I'm on the ground floor and then 30 feet up is the monster, then I'm going to take, I'm going to take 3 movement actions straight up in the air.
Oh, okay. Okay, smart.
Since he's 30 feet, that puts him 9 spaces away from me, like vertically. So I could still have him in my sights.
Okay, nice.
If he was 25 feet, though, then that'd be a little bit different.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
But, that was my turn.
All right, very cool. So you are way up in the air. How far did you say? How many spaces?
3 movement actions up. So 5, 10, 15 spaces up.
All right. This thing with reach is able to reach the island here. You're going to watch it reach down. It's like to the base of the island where it's a bit sandy. And you see it just pull up like just an absolute dump truck worth of just like mud in its hand. And just looks up at you. And just like points at you and just launches this giant mud clob at you. A 16 against your physical defense.
It does hit.
Okay, so because it hits, you're taking 2 damage, but you gotta make a physical save as well.
Nice.
Or
sorry, I didn't hear that.
No, you're good. You're good. Physical save DC is 15.
Okay. It was a 8 for my physical save.
Okay. So now, with a controlled fall, you are knocked completely prone where you are.
Oh, okay.
So because of the controlled fall, you don't take damage from falling. You took 2 damage from being hit, but you are prone on the bridge.
Darn.
Yeah. This one's going to be a turn. What's that?
And 2 damage down.
Yep.
Okay.
But this thing is your only threat, and that's all it can do with what it had, actually.
Okay.
So now you're kind of like, not necessarily eye to eye with this thing, like its head's a little bit above you still at this point, but you know, you're back on its level, and you are up.
Well, I don't like that.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to send a feather right where his eyes should be.
Cool.
It's at advantage because of Hunter's Mark, but I'm also going to give it another advantage. Hopefully I can get some extra damage out of that. But while I also do that, I'm going to add the bleed maneuver.
Okay.
So
sounds
that's
good.
3 action points right there.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Roll high. You did.
18, 22.
Nice. That is enough for a heavy hit, actually.
Oh.
Which negates its 2 physical damage resistance. So good job there.
Yes, that's what I was hoping for. And I just need a save out of this guy.
Alrighty.
For bleed and impaired.
Yes, very good. The damage would be 2. It was a heavy.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, damage is 2. And the save 22. Unfortunately, does manage to save. But you managed to bypass its armor, which is very good. So
now, I do have 1 action point left over from all of that. And I'd just like to move away from this guy a little bit. Maybe to here.
Okay, sounds good. Alrighty, let's see. Back at its turn. Now that it sees you're reachable without having to throw something at you, it's going to make its way over to you in like very simple, long steps. It does make its way over to you with 1 action point, and the thing is going to try to hit you.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. It's going to just try to hit you and add advantage and 1 damage. That's everything it can do there. And I'm afraid. Oh, gosh. 21.
19 for a heavy for me.
Okay. The base damage is 3.
Okay. Not so bad.
So, base damage 3 plus a heavy, you said?
Yes, it was heavy.
Okay, so looking at 4 damage total there, bludgeoning, if it matters. So basically just slams this. Oh, it's 1 more because the added damage, I forgot. So it's 5 damage total. Yeah. Okay. The default is 3. It added 1 and then got the heavy.
Okay, nice. Well, that was a nice hit.
Yeah, but that's all it can do. It used all of its resources to move there and hit once hard.
All right, 1 feather straight to this guy's eye. We really need to bleed.
Yep.
Just going to be at advantage, and then I'm going to add the bleed maneuver, and I'm going to save 2 more action points for later.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's get it.
Ooh, there we go. 17, 21 to hit.
21 does hit with a heavy.
Nice.
So that's 2 damage, and he's got to make some saves against bleed and
impaired.
And this time it's failing the save.
Nice. That's what I like to see.
That's good. Okay, so you lock on the bleed. He is also impaired. There we go. That was big.
I have 2 action points left. Gonna move all the way over here.
Nice. Again, because of flyby, he can't hit you even if he wanted to. Excellent. Okay. So by default, taking 1 damage from bleed. Okay, takes the bleed damage. And you are noticing, so like this guy does have, you noticed, or you mentioned earlier that you targeted like where his eyes should be. He's got a couple like glowing pieces here and there that seem, you know, very much like the spots you're trying to aim for, because otherwise he's straight up impenetrable kind of thing. So when you're hitting, it's not like you are, you know, narratively speaking, when you're hitting, it's not like you're hitting the rock and it's doing damage. It's like every attack that you land, it's because you hit it in a good spot kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
For sure. So otherwise this guy would just be unbeatable. He'd have like, I don't know, like 10 physical damage resistance. You know, it'd just be stupid. So, yeah, you know, there's like a chest on his gem. His eyes are, yeah, there's a gem on his chest rather. His eyes are all glowy. So like every time you're landing a shot with the feather, you're hitting one of those points kind of thing. And it's working out for you so far. So
nice.
All right, back to his turn. He doesn't want to throw things at you. He wants to be with you. So he's going to spend his action points to move 1. And it's like not even physical. It's not even difficult terrain for this guy to move around. Like he can literally just move space to space, but it's still costing him actions to do so. So he clambers up on top of that island like it's nothing. takes a step down here with 2 action points, moving 7 spaces each. He's able to get to you. He's going to use his last one to just try to slap you, basically. But you are flying around, you said, though?
Yes. I mean, I'm hovering. I haven't gone up in the air.
Okay. Just didn't want to cheat you in case that was happening. So, so with his last action point, he's going, or he used 2 action points. So he's going to try to hit you, and he's going to add advantage to make sure that he hits you, hopefully for his sake.
Okay. Could I sidestep?
Yes. Good call before I actually rolled to make it a straight roll instead, which is still way too high, though.
Yeah.
With 21 against physical defense.
And that's a heavy.
Okay. It is 3 damage by default. The heavy makes it 4. Yep.
Okay.
But just to encourage you, the spots you have hit, the important parts, the eyes, the gem on his chest, things like that, you notice that each of those spots, his eyes are glowing a little bit less now that you've done some damage. The gem on his chest is scratched and like slightly cracked in a spot too. He's not invincible, okay? Just close.
Good to know. So if I was gonna just keep up the pressure, that's probably the best option for it. We're gonna go with a attack, and we're gonna try to expose him with that attack as well. So it's just gonna be the advantage because of Hunter's Mark, and then 13, 17. And
it is enough for a normal hit.
Nice. I would hopefully need a save from him as well for exposure.
What would the damage be?
Ooh, okay. So for the damage, he is going to be taking just 1.
This one? Okay. So unfortunately, because it was only a normal hit, his physical damage resistance does negate it. But he's still going to make the saves. Save for those maneuvers. Ooh, only an 8.
Nice.
Okay.
And now he's exposed.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Currently bleeding, impaired, and exposed.
I need to figure out a couple more I can put on him.
The exposed is good. It's going to add to your overall damage output, or like that, add to your roll. It's good. That's good. It'll help negate the physical damage resistance. So, how's that it for your turn?
I do have 1 action point left, and with that action point, I believe I'm going to take the dodge maneuver.
Okay. All right.
Or the dodge.
Taking the dodge. Very good. All right. You already know what's coming. Unfortunately, well, first he's going to take the bleed damage.
Yep.
As you notice, almost passively, like after your attacks, you notice the gem in his chest. There's one like loud crack still. Like you're doing damage to this guy, right? The bleed is counting. So he's going to attack you. He's going to add advantage. He's going to try to tack on 2 more damage.
Okay. So I have the dodge action. I would also like to take the sidestep maneuver as well.
There you go. Okay, so that just brings him actually down to disadvantage, pretty sure. So here we go. Oh, it's looking good. Yeah, only a 7.
I'm glad it wasn't only a 23.
Yeah, 7. So you do manage. If you wanted to move it all from your sidestep, don't forget you could do that.
Totally forgot about that.
You managed to completely negate this thing. Like he swings down with his arm, and you are able to get out of the way just in time. With a earth-shattering crash next to you of his limb landing on the dirt. But that's all he can do.
Very nice. And since this guy is exposed, that should be triple advantage just right off the back, right? Or double advantage right off the bat?
Double, yeah. Double to start, 100%.
Okay. And that's a pretty good starting point.
Yeah.
We're going to go with a feather dart directly at this guy.
All right.
After that, we're going to empower it for damage twice, and then the dodge action.
Okay. I like it. Don't forget, if you have stamina, you can throw maneuvers on with that thing. Don't forget. Or save an action point because of it,
I did. I think I've gotten a heavy hit since I used my stamina.
Yeah, you have, right. For sure. For sure.
Yeah. Then I'll throw on 1 more damage with it.
Perfect. Sounds good.
So that's the attack. Did I just say straight damage the whole way? Or did I have something in the middle of that?
I already forgot.
Me too. Sorry.
It's definitely attack. It has double advantage to start with. I don't remember.
Oh, he's missing the hindered.
He is.
Condition.
Yep.
That's the one I need. So attack, hindered, damage.
Sweet. Let's see
attack, hindered, damage, dodge.
Ah, okay.
Because of the SP.
Okay.
Okay, so, man, we got a 20 to hit.
20 does it with a heavy hit. Exactly.
There we go. So, it was attack.
So negates the PDR. It's good.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was hoping for. So we've got the attack for a base damage of 1. I also empowered it So that's 2. He also needs to make a save as well. And it was another damage for the SP. So that's 3 damage total so far. And since it was a heavy, it brings it up to 4.
Yeah. All right. Dude, this guy, you notice that the gem, and the glow from his eyes is like dwindling pretty significantly. The gem's cracking further and further with pieces actually falling out now. And you notice that there's literally just like pieces of earth just starting to fall off this guy in like large masses. So it's working. Okay, physical save.
23. Oh, nice. I was guessing it was going to be 23.
Oh, 10. Yeah, fails largely. So now he's hindered too.
Yes.
All right. Heck yeah. Okay. Now he's got back pain. Amazing.
The worst condition of them all, you know.
Right? Yep. The most relatable one, too. Okay. So he is very frustrated. He's like, I gotta drop this guy. You know, he's
right.
At this point, it's like a fight or flight, and he's choosing fight. So he is. The exposed can go away. Take that off, but he's got other issues going on for sure.
Yes.
Oops, that's the wrong one. Okay, he's hindered, so his attack has disadvantage to start with.
And
he did not take the bleed damage either. Now he did. Okay, and the dodge action, you're right. So the first attack, he's just going to try to... Man, I'm going to do it tactically.
Okay.
The first attack is going to have a whole bunch of disadvantage. He's not going to empower it. So it's just going to be the straight attack.
At triple or double disadvantage?
Yeah, yes, yep. Okay, so here we go. Double disadvantage for the first attack. Oh my gosh. With double disadvantage. Rolling a 15. 3 base damage as this massive fist comes down and clobbers you.
Yup, sitting at 5.
And now, worse, he's going to attack again, negate his disadvantage, and try to add a damage too. What'd you say you're sitting at?
I'm sitting at 5 health, but does he have disadvantage at all this time? Because of repeated action. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yep. But he's no longer hindered, right? Is it only the first attack?
Should be, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so
it's either the first attack or until my turn comes back around. But either way, it works relatively the same.
Oh, if it's until your next attack, that matters right now. And it honestly could make the difference. So let's actually look it up real quick so we know.
Okay.
The hindered maneuver. Does that last for the next attack or until the next turn?
On their next attack before the end of your next turn. So it's just the next attack.
Okay.
And it'll disappear if my next turn comes around and that wasn't used.
Gotcha. All right. Removing the back pain. So yes, he basically just has the disadvantage from the multiple check, which he'll negate and then add damage. So it's a straight roll, adding damage.
And I would also like to
do it.
Sidestep.
Okay, so disadvantage. Oh, it's good. Oh my gosh. Oh boy, is it good you said that. 10.
10 does not hit.
Nice. Oh, that would have been possibly a game ender. That would have been real rough otherwise. Okay, that's everything he can do.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's all of his actions. That was huge. That was a good call. The sidestep, that was big. That was big.
Since I did sidestep, I'm going to move my 1 space away.
Yep.
And I think I just have to go for the attack here. I don't have anything that can heal me, so it's not like running away helps, more or less.
Yeah. And unfortunately, this guy can cover crazy ground with action points too, technically.
Mm-hmm. Well then, I already have it at an advantage. So I'm going to... And I had a heavy hit last time, right? So that gives me my stamina point back.
Yep.
So, attack. Damage, dodge, damage for stamina.
Nice. Sick.
All right. So, 20 to hit.
20 is exactly a heavy. You negate the PDR again.
Perfect.
This one's big.
That's 3 damage of empowerment, 2 for being heavy, so 5 damage total. And that was it. No this time.
Well, there's kind of an because that is actually enough to break the gem in this thing's chest. And it literally just, you have to dodge the many pieces of just massive debris falling off of this thing as it manages to just crumble into the ocean.
This is why Billy Goose stays in the skies.
That's right. You managed to take that one down as well before it was too late. And as it drops, we'll bring back this little island thing as it kind of just like the earth literally just like almost like floats across the water, and then kind of reforms this island. Whoops.
Nice.
There we go. Okay, so that's that. All right. Wave 5. You ready?
Yes.
All right. So
the monster's even bigger.
Nope. In fact, you just faced like the largest creature you've ever fought in your life, right? The largest animate object you've ever seen. And very ironically, out of like the shadows here by the trees of the top island, you see like as if someone's just like walking upstairs, you see just like a shadowy figure apparate out of the shadows.
Oh no.
And I'm going to give away their gimmick right away. Actually, no, I'm not. I lied. I'm not going to give away their gimmick right away. And basically, it just like apparates out of the shadows, stands there, and turns towards you, and just like looks at you. It's just like it looks like a very stealthy, like assassin type build of sorts, or rogue type, something like that. But it's just like shrouded in shadow. It's just like almost steaming, but the steam is just like black. So taking a bit of inspiration from Shane's character the other day.
Nice.
Okay, that's it. That's what you're seeing. What's the plan?
All right. So for the most part, it's always just going to be laying on the pressure. But finally, I've got somebody around my size. I am going to be attacking, but not with a feather.
Oh, very interesting. Okay. To start off, would you like to just do an attack check for initiative?
17.
Okay. The encounter DC is a straight 20. Inappropriately. But the inappropriately is a joke. It's appropriate according to the creature, actually, because you will see this creature kind of just like reaches out toward the shadows. Let's see how far away. Let me see. That far. Okay. It reaches out towards this shadowy area here, just like at the bridge. And you see it just like pull what looks to be almost the exact same like creature directly out of the shadow there. And there seems to be another one. That's its whole turn. That's all of its action points.
Billy Goose doesn't like that. All right, so if he's gonna be making stuff, I need to start breaking stuff.
Yep.
Okay, so I need to get over there, and about right here is gonna make my 10 spaces, which is 2 action points for me.
Okay.
Looking at this one right here, I'm going for an attack. I want to empower it with advantage.
Okay.
And it's gonna be my bolo.
Ooh. Okay.
Hopefully, it can actually be physically attacked.
Only one way to find out.
Give it advantage. You roll 2 7s.
Oh.
11.
Sorry. 11 is unfortunately not quite enough.
Okay, and that will unfortunately be my turn.
Okay. So it comes back to them. The one that was just summoned moves up towards you, reaches toward the shadow behind you, and pulls. Oh wait, actually it can't do that. Never mind, just kidding. So yeah, that one's just gonna reach up towards you. Okay, so it comes up towards you and just makes a melee attack against you. Basically, oh, and I forgot narratively too, this thing doesn't walk. Okay, so like it is in one spot and just like misty step basically. It just like poofs and reappears in front of you.
I thought you were gonna say it does.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good. I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna say it does the Chaozu, where it just floats at you like.
Yeah, right. It does seem to like move normally. Like it seems like to move like a person, but yeah, I don't know. There's something about this creature. It's very strange. So it doesn't walk. It like starts, it like takes a step kind of thing, makes the motion of a step, and then appears in front of you instantly. And because it could reach you in its move, it gets advantage against an attack against you.
Sidestep.
There you go. Making it a straight roll instead. It's 2 action points. And I didn't say that it would do anything else yet, so you already called the sidestep, so I'm just going to let it be what it is with a 17 against physical defense.
It does hit.
Okay. It does 1 damage. Merely 1 damage. That's all that one can do. The one in the back reaches out towards the same exact spot of shadows that the original one was summoned from and summons another. That is all it can do. Back to you. I will say we're a round in, so I'm going to give you a little bit of information, okay? The ones that are being summoned out of the shadows seem slightly more like shadowy and less physical than the one summoning them. Slightly. So, that being said, I'll put a bit of a marker on the original one just to help keep track.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
So from the picture, it almost looks like they have wings. Do they?
They don't. If you zoom in further, it's just a bunch of them in the picture. It's like a swarm of the creatures.
So like Dementors.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice. Okay, so since they probably can't fly, I'm going to move right over here.
Okay.
And flyby would make it so no opportunity attacks happen?
Absolutely. That's come in clutch several times for you already, by the way. So that was a good pick. Good pick in the ancestry traits.
You know, speaking of ancestry traits, I have 5 negative ancestry traits just to be able to make full flight work.
That's kind of awesome, though.
Thank you.
Full flight is pretty cool. So I like that. I like that that's an option.
Definitely. But all right, I'm going to be making a feather attack straight at the shadow that's already, you know, been summoning things. So I want to make an attack on the shadow that's already been summoning things, the main body.
Yeah.
But before I do so, I want to make sure that I have advantage on it. So I'm going to Hunter's Mark. I haven't done that just yet. So that's 1 AP for a move, 1 AP for Hunter's Mark, 1 for an attack. And I'm not 100% sure if they have ranged capabilities, so I'm not going to save something for dodge just yet this time.
Fair enough.
Wait a minute, never mind. I sidestepped last time.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
Okay, so disregard that last part.
Okay.
So I moved, I attacked, I moved, I Hunter's Marked, and I attacked.
Yep, with advantage. Let's see it.
14 to hit.
14 is enough for a normal hit.
Oh, nice. And they have to make a save to see if they're impaired.
Okay, just 1 damage, right?
Yes.
1 damage, making the save for impaired. 17. Do manage to make the save. Okay, that was it though, right?
Yes.
All right. Okay, this is when things are going to get dicey. You ready?
All right, let's see it.
So, each of these creatures are working with 3 action points. The one on the bridge here is going to take a step towards you. How far away are you technically? You didn't fly up at all, did you?
Nope, just 5 spaces away.
Okay. So this one is going to take a step towards you and just like poof into shadow. Appear directly next to you, just like in the air, falling. Make an attack against you in the air.
Okay.
But it's only going to be a straight roll. It's not going to empower in any way. Well, not a straight roll. It's got additives. Oh my gosh. Well, the 23 against physical defense.
That's heavy. Let me see. 23. 1 more and you got a brutal.
Oh, wow. Yikes. Okay. But just a heavy.
Yes.
So total of 2 damage. And then as it's so literally it's just like teleports into the air, makes an attack on you. And the second its blade like pierces you, it teleports directly back onto the bridge.
Oh, wow.
That's everything it can do. This one is going to reach out towards the shadows next to it, and it is going to summon another one.
Nice.
That's all that it can do. The one that was just summoned will not act this round. The original one is, how far away are you? It can reach you. It's going to do the same bit that the first one did. Teleports into the air, attacks you. I forgot to give the other one advantage. If they can reach you within a teleport, they do get advantage on an attack against you.
Nice.
As it's literally, it's kind of like the Goku's instantaneous transmission situation, you know? So it's just like, it ain't right. So it teleports, falling through the air, attempts to stab you on the way down with advantage. A dirty 20 that time.
Okay. Nice. And that's just a heavy.
Okay. It teleports back with its last action point. The heavy is 2 damage total. That will be all they can do.
Okay. So clearly I need some more distance here. We're going to move in, I think, right here.
It was a total of 6 spaces that they just moved in one teleport kind of thing, just so you know.
So, still within my range, but not within his. That's where I'm going to be.
There you go.
So, after moving my 1 space, it still has Hunter's Mark on it, and I'm going to launch a feathery duster straight to it.
All right, perfect.
I need to inflict the bleed maneuver on this thing first and foremost.
Yep. Whenever you make your attack, it's going to sidestep.
Okay. And so attack, bleed, and movement. I still have 1 extra. Attack with advantage because of Hunter's Mark. Did awfully. just terrible.
Yeah, the sidestep would have taken the first roll anyway of it, I guess, technically.
And then I'm going to use...
I just want to make sure you've seen that it used the sidestep to get one space closer to you.
Oh, okay. Nice.
They're stinkers.
Well, you got to use them. And I will use the dodge action still.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Okay. They are acting again. All right. Okay. So the original one is going to do the thing. It's going to teleport over to you. Attempt to attack you in the air. But because of the dodge, it negates the advantage that it gets to make it a straight roll. And it's going to save its last AP to teleport back instead of falling.
Okay. Totally.
Dang. Looking at an 18.
It definitely hits. And you're one away from a heavy.
Okay, so only 1 damage. And as it teleports, actually it was here. It teleports back to where it was. Now, interestingly, let's see how this is gonna go. These guys cannot reach you, none of them. So,
do it.
All right, so the first one is going to reach towards the shadows near it, summon another creature. Pick the shadows back over here by the door. The one in the middle is going to reach towards the shadows on the bridge here and summon another one. It can't be there, so that's good enough. The last one on the bridge is going to reach towards the shadows on this side and summon another one as they are... Make sure I didn't clone any of the wrong ones. No, okay, we're good. They're just rapidly multiplying, pulling their own kind out of the shadows near them. That is all of their action points.
Okay, back to my turn?
Yep, all you.
Okay, so 1 attack straight to the main body. We've got advantage already, and it's going to get advantage again. Going to empower it with yet another damage, and I'd like to add the exposed maneuver to it.
Ah, there you go. It is going to sidestep again, but that only takes 1 advantage away.
18 to hit.
18 definitely does it with a heavy.
Okay, and I would also like to call for a save for impaired and exposed. I said exposed.
Okay, sounds good.
Gotta balance all the conditions in my head too.
Okay, so that's 2 damage, 1 for the normal, 1 for the heavy, and then all the saves. Physical save. Dang, I rolled really high. So it negates the effects again, but the original summoner is bloodied.
Oh, cool.
So you are making a big difference quickly, and you're almost kind of gauging at this point. It's kind of just like a race. It's a race to see, how this goes exactly. Mm-hmm. But okay, so that's that.
Yep. That was an attack, empowerment to make it advantage, my 1 save, and then for damage.
Okay.
So that was the
for damage.
Yep, those are the 2 for a heavy, and then the 1 for the tacked on damage.
Ooh, okay.
And then that would be everything I can do.
Okay, I'm glad we reviewed that because I missed that last damage. My fault. Okay, now this one's going to be interesting. So all of the summoned creatures here are going to try a different tactic, and you're going to learn one more secret about them real quick too.
Oh boy.
So this one is going to teleport up onto the rocks here at the edge of the cliff with 1 action point. All 6 spaces. Teleport again to reach you out in the open and make an attack against you with its last action point.
Okay.
But it does get the advantage from reaching you with the teleport. So, golly. Well, a 23.
That's 1 away from brutal.
Okay, so it's 2 damage if it's only heavy.
Nice.
And then this creature plummets down towards the water. The second it reaches the water, it completely vanishes. It just like straight up disappears and is considered dead, which is good. That's good news. The bad news is they're just going to Zerg rush you with that same concept, basically.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance.
So this one's going to teleport up to the cliff yet again because it can't reach you with its first one. Whoops. Oh my gosh, I broke it. Okay. Teleport again to get next to you and attack with advantage.
Sounds good.
The 19 that time.
It does hit, and 19 is literally just a heavy.
Just a heavy. Okay, so that's the 2 damage again. But this one plummets down to the water and it instantly just vanishes, poofs, dies.
I am now officially bloodied.
Okay. All right. Now, can this one even reach you? If it moves there and then it can. Okay. So in that case, I'm going to streamline this a little bit. They're all doing exactly the same thing. They're literally just like rapidly, they just teleport to be within range and then teleport out to you. And they're just all like falling, skydiving, attempting to just like stab you in unison.
Nice.
Which makes for a pretty cool cinematic thing, but it's also scary. I'm scared. Yeah. Cool. I'm going to say that this one like teleports to that little rock and then over.
So if they're all happening at once, then
I'm not going to give... Oh, go ahead. I was going to say I'm not going to give the flank, and they'll all be separate checks. That's how I was going to do it.
I don't want it to ruin anything, but if I sidestep for one of them, does that like ruin the range of one of them to not be able to do that? Or
yes, I would say so. If you sidestep for one of them, I will say that it also counters their normal advantage that they're getting because reaching you with the teleport kind of thing. This one actually can't reach you, by the way. I'm just realizing that, but I'm going to say that he's basically just going to teleport there and not do anything else.
Okay.
So yeah, what I was thinking is like it's all happening in like relative unison, right? Sidestep is definitely going to negate one of their advantages completely and give them disadvantage because it just like it ruins the whole. It's like you catch onto the teleportation part of it to be able to sidestep in the first place. So like it ruins their advantage and gives them disadvantage like sidestep normally would. But the rest are all independent checks afterwards. So I'd say that unfortunately it's probably only going to apply to one.
Right. And
the rest would have been able to reach you with at least one extra space technically anyway.
So if for some reason I went sidestep, 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 you know, continually moving.
Oh, I see.
Then that may end up altering their spaces.
Yes, I see what you're saying. Yes, I'm trying to think here. It would have been the one that ended up here wouldn't have been able to reach you if you were 2 spaces away from it. 2 more spaces. I think the rest would have had enough probably to be able to like chase you technically.
Okay.
But I don't think that one would have, if you like maximized your sidestepping to be like up. If you were up here, he wouldn't have been able to reach you or anywhere beyond that technically, which would be pretty funny because then he's just gonna like plummet to the water, which is pretty awesome.
I don't want to like cancel out some of the movements that they were currently making. Just thinking about it might not be too fair. So I'm not gonna sidestep. I am just gonna take it, but you know, it's still pretty good for me either way.
I mean, I said I was going to attack, but I didn't make any checks yet. So like, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to sidestep. I appreciate you trying to honor what I was thinking, but like, that's a simple dupe. That just makes sense tactically that you would be able to sidestep. So we can do it like this. We'll say that we'll actually kind of like do it out manually real quick. So the one at the top, we'll just go from the top to the bottom pretty much, if that works for you. The one at the top, if you burn the action points to sidestep, which is up to you, but basically, if you burn the action points to sidestep, each time you do, it will negate their special advantage and give them disadvantage every time you sidestep. So that's up to you.
That does sound like a pretty good deal, but
if you do it twice and get to this point, the one on the bottom can't actually even reach you. So there's that too.
Right. I feel like I'll just save my action points.
You sure?
For the most part. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very good. In that case, I'm just going to rattle off a whole bunch of checks that these dirty dogs are doing on you. So the one at the top is going to attack with advantage due to its teleport reach. 11.
Nope. Doesn't hit.
Nice. The one in the middle. Same bit. 11.
No. That's crazy.
Right? Is that what happened? Oh, it's actually... Is
it?
What? Did it not do the roll? I saw the natural 1. Yeah, no, it was a 6. Okay, yeah. Never mind. It's confusing. I'm still confused. I think it was an 11 again, somehow. Not sure what happened there. And the one on the bottom is going to do the same bit. So many natural ones.
It is actually really nuts.
16.
It does hit.
Okay, the one on the bottom does manage to hit you. If it's only normal hits, 1 damage. 1 damage is the base.
Yep.
So now all 3 of them plummet into the water as they were kind of like sacrificing themselves to make the attack in a rush-like effort. I'm not sure how you're looking, but that's all they could do.
That was everybody?
That's everybody.
Nice. So I'm just going to take a feather shot directly at the main body. It's going to be empowered for advantage, and it's going to be bleeding, then double damage.
Ooh, okay. That's big. Wow, that's a good thing.
Yep. Somehow 2 natural ones on my double advantage, but we still ended up getting 17.
17 is a heavy hit, actually.
Nice.
exactly a heavy hit.
I would also like a save for bleeding.
Okay, how much damage is that?
I think it's 5. It was 4. 4 damage.
4. Okay, so it's not 5.
Not 5.
All right, so I don't know if I just miscalculated or I didn't do the tactics well enough, but 5 would have been enough to finish this fight off. But unfortunately, nice. 4 is also enough to finish this fight off.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. 4 is enough to finish the summoner. Which,
well, even if it wasn't.
Dang it. I ruined it. I lied. I'm sorry. The summons stick around after the summoner dies in this case.
No worries.
But you'll see soon that kind of almost doesn't even matter. So the summoner does die with that last feather thrown towards this guy, just like pierces straight through him, and he lands on the ground and bleeds real blood, and he's dead. So all that's left on the battlefield is this one summoned creature.
Nice.
Now what?
It's its turn.
Okay. Well, okay. All right. So panicking, it's going to use all of its action points to make another shadowy clone of sorts in the shadows here next to it from the trees there. And that's all that can happen. It is your turn.
Perfect. Since my quarry died, I got Hunter's Mark back, and I'm going to place it directly on the first one closest to me.
Okay.
I'm also going to attack and use the sweeping attack maneuver.
Yep.
I'm just going to do that first, just to see how this goes.
Okay, sounds good.
That's just 2 action points, but it is at advantage. 8, 12 to hit.
12 is exactly enough for a normal hit.
Nice. And we also need I think it's save for the sweeping maneuver? Or...
I think it's 1 attack against all their physical effects,
yeah.
Right?
It is. Yep.
Which is interesting.
1 attack against everybody.
That just now made me realize that you could build a character, like anytime you have advantage, the sweep attack is significantly better because you're getting advantage on multiple creatures at once by doing that.
Yes.
That's really interesting. That's something to remember. Like that's a good tactic. That's a meta tactic right there. So it's at least 1 damage, right?
Yep. It is at least 1 damage, and if it's weeping, it'll go across to the next one.
All right. So now I dropped the bomb early. With the drama earlier, thinking it was all over. Now it is all over. Each of these clone creatures can only take 1 damage.
Nice.
Boom. Boom. You sweep through them. That is wave 5 of the Gauntlet.
Perfect.
The summoner couldn't quite make the tactics line up. But man, just imagine if there was like one of those rounds, the one round where they all just like bum rushed you kind of thing. They could have each just burned all their action points to make more clones. And that would have been like 20 of them.
Exactly.
And I was debating, I was like, man, what would happen? This might be enough already to just like really do some damage. Should have waited 1 more round and then you wouldn't have made it through wave 5. But man, what an accomplishment. That's sick. Good work.
So those clones are just lucky my first attack against the clones didn't hit, because it was usually the tactic whenever there's multiplying enemies is either chop the head off or stop the multiplying before it can get out of hand.
Exactly.
And I chose chop the head off, but that seemed like the multiplying before it gets out of hand was actually the right answer.
Either could have been the right answer, I suppose, because that was the only one that had a bunch of health. All of the clones had 1 health. So either could be good. I guess chopping the head off could be a good way to get ahead of there being too many kind of thing. But yeah,
and I didn't even have a single condition applied.
That's true. They managed to save against them. But man, yeah, they
absolutely nuts.
The tactic of them collectively swarming you was made one round too early, I'd say. But that was fun. That was cool.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Very interesting creatures, dude.
Thank you. Very interesting character, as always. Like I said, man, I admire your creativity hugely when it comes to the characters you're making for DC20. So thanks for that.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. And maybe it won't be the last time we hear of Billy Goose.
Yeah, I hope not. He's an awesome character. Every one of your characters, seriously. Like I hope we see him in, I don't know, the West Marches once we finally kick that off or something. But
Oh yeah,
regardless, that's a pretty long video. So why don't you send us out of here?
definitely. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We really do appreciate you sticking around until the end. If you've got any suggestions for how we can do the Gauntlet later, or maybe the next map that we should feature, leave it down below. But until next time, y'all, we'll see you all later.
See ya.